as long as the interest rates come down to 5 or 4%. And houses are going to go up in price all over again. I wouldn't be surprised if they go up by as much as 10 or 15% when that happens.
Did she just say that? Home prices are going up 10 to 15%? Is she for real? Like, are you kidding me?
You serious?
If you don't know who this woman is, this is Barbara Corcoran. Barbara is on that TV show Shark Tank. She's also a real estate mogul. She was just recently on Good Morning America talking about her opinion about the housing market and what's going to happen to home prices. And she says it's going to go up 10 to 15% when mortgage rates come back down. Very interesting, Barbara. So listen, I'm here to give you my opinion, and that's what I'm going to do today. No hate to Barbara. Love Barbara Corcoran. I think she's a very smart woman, but I think we need to unpack this a little bit because I think people are going to start to panic when they hear her saying the prices are going to go up 10 to 15%. Let's take a step back and let's break this down a little bit, and I will give you my opinion on it as always. So let's get started. So when I saw this interview that Barbara was giving, I'm like, are you serious? Like really 10 to 15%? I mean, it was all over social media and people are like, the comments were just outrageous. People are freaking out. I don't blame them. Reason why she's saying this is because she feels when mortgage interest rates come back down, that buyers who have been waiting on the sidelines, waiting for things to calm down, they're going to jump back into the market, create a buyer frenzy, and boom, prices are going to go up 10 to 15%. I don't disagree with her there because of the lack of inventory. She's right there. It's going to create a buyer frenzy, but 10 to 15%, I don't think so. They're going to rise, but as high as that, and I could be wrong. Look, I could be totally wrong on this, but I don't think it's going to go that high. And let's break down this video, and I'm going to explain to you a couple of points that she mentions here that stood out to me that definitely will have an impact on the housing prices. So let's take a look at this little interview. So first, Barbara talks about what's going on with the interest rates right now in the housing market. So listen to what she has to say about this.
High mortgage rates impacting the housing market.
The housing market is surprisingly strong. Everybody's surprised by it. Houses are not staying on the market. They all sell. 1/3 of them sell for over ask price, and there are just not enough houses to go around. So as a result of that, the housing market is as strong as ever, and it's so frustrating for buyers.
Yeah. Housing market is as strong as ever, and 1/3 of the homes are still going above asking price. And here as of today, we have over 7% interest rates, and it's like it doesn't even affect people. Yeah. So it's still a strong seller's market, guys. Let's continue on to see what else she has to say.
Do you feel houses will be more affordable in the future? It seems hard to find a house anymore that is going for the price it is worth.
There's not a lot out there, and Terry's having a hard time, and everybody is. But I can tell you this, house prices are not going to come down. I believe that when the real estate interest rates come down, when the mortgage rates come down, all hell's going to, oh, you're not supposed to say that.
It's morning television, you're on Shark Tank.
Every buyer on the sideline is going to jump into the market as long as the interest rates come down to 5 or 4%. And houses are going to go up in price all over again. I wouldn't be surprised if they go up by as much as 10 or 15% when that happens.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I want to stop right there. Did you hear what she said? If mortgage rates drop back down to 5 or 4%. Did we catch that? Did we catch that comment there?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
4%? Are we going to go back to a 4% interest rate? I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. 5%, it's doable. Mid fives to low fives, I think that is what's going to happen. But when she says mortgage rates are going to drop to 4%, and then she throws out, yeah, home prices are going to go up 10 to 15%, that scenario, I think it's slightly possible. But again, 10 to 15% is too high. And here is why. I think an interest rate that low at 4% is going to be enough incentive for people to sell their homes, right? We have the golden handcuff problem going on right now. So people have interest rates below 4% or around 4%. That 4% is going to be enough to, I think, ignite the inventory and get people, the sellers, to like get off their duffs and sell their homes. And that'll create more inventory, which we hope would bring a balanced market. Take a listen to this last comment that Barbara made here related to sellers.
All right, flip side.
Yes.
Advice if you're trying to sell your home.
You really don't need any help. Everything is selling today. The average home sits on the market for 20 days. Think about that.
That's it?
So you're going to sell. But if it was my house, I would wait until next year.
Why?
When all the buyers come off the sidelines, when interest rates come, I'm going to get a lot more for my house than I would get right now. So they have no problems. Nobody's feeling badly for the sellers.
Right. So did you hear what she said there? Don't sell your house now. Wait until next year when those rates come back down and you get a lot more for your house. Maybe not. Why? Because if those interest rates fall to 4 or 5%, let's forget about 4%. I don't think it's going to go down to 4%. If we're in the 5% range, I think that's enough to incentivize the sellers to make a move, and it's going to bring inventory back, like I just said. Is it going to be enough? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough to create more of a buyer's market. I can't say that for sure, guys. I will tell you, I think that is going to be enough to bring people to sell their homes to get more inventory. Therefore, I don't think those home prices are going to go up 10 to 15% like she's saying it is. Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of demand back into the market. But if we have more inventory, that's going to keep prices not go as high. So, of course, Barbara Corcoran is not the end all be all on the housing market and real estate. Look, like I said, love Barbara. I think she's a really brilliant woman. And this is her opinion. I'm just like this, this average Joe real estate agent from New Jersey with a small YouTube channel of 6,000 subscribers. And, really, does my opinion matter that much?
You know what? You're awesome.
Maybe to you guys it does, but I'm just speaking from experience and I'm speaking from what I'm witnessing now in the housing market. And again, I always do my research. So for you guys, I do a lot for you guys. I really do.
Aw, that's sweet.
So for you guys, I went and dug a little deeper. I found some more articles about where some experts are predicting what's going to happen in this housing market going into 2024. There's a couple of things I want to point out. Fortune.com, they had an article that just came out recently, and they're talking about how Zillow is saying that home prices are going to jump to 6.5% by July of 2024. 6.5%, I think, is probably realistic. I think it's more realistic than what Barbara's saying, 10 to 15%. Again, we could be completely way off, but Zillow is still saying inventory is going to play a huge part next year as far as the home prices are concerned. Inventory is not going to improve at any time soon. Although Zillow did say beginning of the year that they felt that the home prices have bottomed out. They were one of the only ones that had said that. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I've been talking about the housing market experts and what they've been saying, what they've been predicting, like this video here and also this other video here. So go check those out. Those are from earlier this year. And I think it's kind of interesting to go back and see what the experts said back then and look at what's going on now. Well, you like it, you may not like it. You may be surprised by some of the information you're going to see there. Now, Moody Analytics and Morgan Stanley still feel that the housing prices have not bottomed out yet, like Zillow has. They still feel that there's still room for that to happen. And they think that's not going to happen until the end of 2024. The home prices are going to bottom out. So according to them, we still have a whole other year, 3 months to go. Now, when I looked at Markets Insider, this article says that the housing market may be about to get even more unaffordable as home prices are set to increase 6% by the end of this year and 7% in 2024. Now, it says here in this article, the U.S. housing market is about to get even more unaffordable as home prices will likely continue their uptrend over the next few years, according to the American Enterprise Institute Housing Center. The Washington, D.C.-based think tank pointed to a recent acceleration in housing costs, with home prices rising 2.9% year over year in June and up from the 2.1% annual increase in the prior month. Prices are likely to heat up even more, the AEI said in its latest housing market indicators report. They're estimating home prices would rise 4% in July from a year ago. Home prices will surge 6% overall in 2023 and 7% overall in 2024. So Zillow's not too far off. Like Zillow's right smack in the middle of these two numbers right here. They're saying 6.5%. Now, again, the AEI is saying this is largely due to historically low supply, cooling yet strong job numbers, low levels of foreclosures in most areas of the country, work from home, and continuing home price arbitrage opportunities. Now, at the end of the article, it says here, experts say affordability won't improve until mortgage rates pull back more significantly, and that likely isn't happening anytime soon. Rates are set to fall to just 6% by the end of the year. This is from Redfin's deputy chief economist. Industry veterans say rates will need to fall around 5% to unlock more inventory and put downward pressure on home prices. Who said that? I said that. We need to be around 5%. And the experts are saying 5% could be that magic number to help boost the inventory. I don't know. It makes sense, but listen, there was a lot of things I've said in the past I thought made sense, and it turned out to, be totally wrong. So look, doing my best here. I'm doing the research, and I'm trying to come up with my own analysis. And this is what I'm thinking. It's going to take that interest rate to be at 5%. So being at 5%, is that enough to boost those prices 10 to 15%? Again, not at that 5% impacts that inventory, and it brings more homes to the market. Barbara, love you. Think you're awesome. I don't think the 10 to 15% price increase is going to happen. 6-7% next year, yes. But what's happening next year? We have a presidential election. So what can happen with this housing market next year? Well, folks, it's not going to be pretty. I don't think things are going to improve that much next year. And here is why. Typically in an election year, the market does slow down even more because they're worried. They're nervous about who's going to be sitting in the Oval Office come the following year after the election. I did research on this as well because I thought this was a really important thing to think about going into 2024. So I got this article from Forbes.com talking about the impact the election has on the housing market. Now, it goes on to say here, a recent study that analyzed the last 13 presidential election years, which stretch back to the 1980s, Myers Research, a housing consultancy firm, found out that new home sales record a drop in median sale activity of 15% from October to November when the nation chooses its president. Now, it does go on to say, in most markets, though the rebound is quick, if not instantaneous, as pent-up demand gushes out after clarity dawns in the Oval Office. In December, following an election, and in the following year, the sales that are lost during November are recovered. Now, this is from Ali Wolf, who's the director of economic research for Myers Research. It isn't that consumers say, I'm nervous, I never want to buy. They say, I'm nervous, let's just wait to see how things play out. So I'm putting this out there now. Next year, it's going to be more of the same, I think, of what we're seeing this year. I don't think there's going to be much inventory. Hopefully rates do come back down, although experts are saying rates are only going to come down to 6% at the end of the year, as I just mentioned before. If it does go back down into fives, that'd be great. But again, it's typical in an election year. Things are much slower because people are nervous. And look, I don't want to get political here. Do not go political on me in the comments. Please don't. I'm just giving you some statistical data, some facts to share with you what could happen in the housing market next year. So be prepared for that. Because of the concerns of the economy, whether or not people are going to have a job after the election, all of these things play a part into the housing market because, again, people are nervous and they want to wait it out and see what happens. As always, please comment. Are you holding out on buying a home? Are you going to wait until 2025? What do you think about Barbara's prediction? Do you think these home prices will go up 10 to 15%? I love having this conversation with you guys in the comment section. Please comment below. Let me know. Please be nice. Please be nice. You've all been nice lately, so thank you for that. But let me know. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Barbara is entitled to her opinion, like the rest of us, like all of these experts. If you want to hear more information about what experts are saying and whether or not they've been playing you this whole year about their market analysis, I highly recommend you check out this video right here. Thanks for joining me today to get your dose of real estate reality. My name is Jackie Baker, and I will see you next time.